Hello, my name is William James. Welcome to the Bald Book Geek. I hope you guys are well. All of my links are down below in the doobly-doo. And this is Friday Read / a wrap-up thingy. So hi! I hope you guys enjoy. Please do the usual thing. Please like, share, and get this video in the YouTube algorithm, because we all know the YouTube algorithm is pants. All of my links, like I said, are down below, so let's get on with the show. It's been a very interesting few weeks of reading, so I hope you guys enjoy this. Game Changer by Neil Schusterman, however you say his last name. I loved Dry, the book that he co-authored. This, on the other hand, I like, but I also don't like. It's a really weird one for me. It felt disconnected, disjointed, for me as a reader. So it borrows its concept very heavily from things like Quantum Leap and Sliders, and probably more Sliders than Quantum Leap, but it's definitely in there. So you have Ash. He's on the high school football team, but he starts being pushed through successes of universes, almost, but not really like his own. A small shift in reality becomes a significant shift in his own identity. He starts to question what he knew, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a great take. Science fiction for people who don't like science fiction. That's not a bad thing. I felt like its tackle of identity politics felt kind of clumsy. I'm not a great lover of identity politics in novels, and this kind of felt clumsy in places to me. I could be wrong on that, but that's my feelings. It was well written, the language was concise, great exploratory themes, and I think maybe with a little bit more development it could maybe be a little better. Partly because, again, identity politics I find quite off-putting. I'd rate this a good high read. I probably won't read it again, but it's definitely science fiction for people who don't like science fiction. So I would enjoy it for that. Dark Lullaby. This was an interesting one. So the publisher sent me this again, and fans of Black Mirror and Handmaid's Tale. I can see the vibe of those two, but I definitely don't think it's nearly as good as The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale is literally a class on how to write. This isn't. This follows a young mother desperately tries to keep her family together in a world where the human race is kind of decline. So everything's in decline. The human race, the economy's in free fall, and most of the biggest resources become women, in some cases girls of childbearing age. Honestly, I did really enjoy this. I thought it was brilliantly... It was dark, it was fun, it definitely made you think. But honestly, it wasn't executed very well. I found the writing not particularly great. And I think the writing just felt very standard to me. There was nothing that really just made me go, ooh, I can see why people compare this to Handmaid's Tale or Black Mirror. It's just not as well written. It's scary. It's fascinating. It's definitely worth a read, but it's not The Handmaid's Tale. And the problem is, when you compare a book like this to The Handmaid's Tale, rarely they even come close. A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. A beautifully written family saga across a few generations. It's a classic. This is a very comfortable, easy book, and I love it. I really do love it. Stunning, well written, beautiful poise, beautiful characters, and you see this family just grow over time and the characters interweaving in and out of their lives. It's refreshing to see, and I've read this before a very long time ago, and it is a beautiful book. It's what I call an easy classic. You can pick this up and drop in and out of it just because of its writing style. It's beautiful, and it fundamentally follows this sort of snapshot of history, which is kind of forgotten, like the start of New York and the districts and how it all evolved, but also the people living there and the struggles they face. Absolutely beautiful, one definitely to read, and one that I think you will love. In Order to Live. Now this is non-fiction, and I know non-fiction seems to be a dirty word on the internet. This follows a young woman, escaping North Korea. It's her story. She has a YouTube channel. She's fascinating. I cannot stress probably how important books like this are. North Korea is a bit of a weird pet project of mine. It's harrowing, it's dark, it is not the easiest read sometimes, and it will leave you on the edge of your seat. It's interesting because whenever you see North Korea in media, you tend to see the city or people fleeing from urban locations and all of that. It's interesting seeing the life of people who are more or less rural and outside of that, and the control that they have, or control they don't have in their lives. This is fascinating but terrifying, and I'm so glad I finally sat down and reread it. I read it when it first came out, and I'm glad that I read it again. I cannot stress how important books like this are. And I'm finally working my way through the Cyberpunk City books, and I'm loving these. D.L. Young, great indie writer. If you like Gibson or this kind of genre, definitely check him out. Yes, it's tiniest bit cliched in places. Yes, we do go into predictable territory. Are they fun? Yes. Are they well written? Yes. Are the characters fun and well rounded? Yes. And definitely great. I mean, I love cyberpunk. It's one of my favourite genres, and it's a real shame that we don't tend to see more of it. It seems to have become more of an aesthetic than a genre now, which is a real shame. But Cyberpunk City books are great, and I wholeheartedly recommend them. Just look on wherever you get your ebooks from, and they will be there. You can also get the first book free if you join his mailing list. That's how I found them, actually. It was just a recommendation, so why the hell not? Definitely worth reading, and definitely fun.